Good morning. How are you today? You're on, other than being on mute, how are you? Okay.
Are we good now?
Okay, we can hear you now. Okay, we're in Baton Rouge at the Department of Corrections headquarters. And the three of us are going to be handling the cases for today. On my left is Mr. Chuck Tillis. On my right is Mr. Pete Freeman. And my name is Steve Frater. Like I say, we're at headquarters down in Baton Rouge. The date today is June the 5th. It's Thursday. The time is 8:55 in the morning. And I'm going to ask the staff here to introduce themselves.
Francis Abbott.
Okay, thank you for that. And we're talking to LADARRUS Carter, and we'll talk to you in just a minute, Mr. Carter. But at first, we're at Concordia Parish Correctional Center. Is anybody in the staff? I see behind you, the staff for Concordia Parish Correctional Center.
Yes, sir. My name is Melanie Book. I am the DOC transition specialist here at Concordia. We also have the Faraday Police Chief, Derek Freeman, here to speak on Carter's behalf.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get to him in a second. We don't have him on our list, but we'll sure put him there. Mr. Freeman. Okay, or Chief Freeman. All right. Okay. Well, the way we do this, Mr. Carter, is that we begin by asking you why you feel like that you are worthy of a parole. Why you feel like you should be able to get out of jail early, basically. What you've done since you've been there and what got you there and what's changed in your life so we don't ever have to see you again. Okay, that's what we want you to tell you. And then we're going to ask the institution there, whoever knows you best there at the institution, as far as the staff, we're going to them to tell us what kind of fellow you are, and then we'll hear from your supporters, and we'll ask questions and make a decision. Okay?
Sir.
Okay, tell us what got you where you are and what you've done to better yourself.
What got me here is I was using drugs and selling them. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I got a little nervous, but what got me here was selling drugs and also using them too, which was a supporting the habit. I have sought treatment that while I have been here, and I know the seriousness of my charges. Also, with just using, I realized, the losses that I took with my family, jobs, and now I want to live to be a better, abiding by the laws. Before I came in, I was not living, excuse me, I'm just a little nervous.
Sir, I understand.
Before I came in, now that you know that I do work for the police department, and I've been around them since I've been here, rehabilitating myself. But before I came in, I was lost. I was just, didn't want to work. I give up on all that, and which that's just a disease that I suffer from and using. But since I came in, and been here, I will say that jail actually saved my life. It helped me to realize that if I do decide to keep on doing those old habits and things, the behavior I did in the past, that it would either keep me here behind bars and also or end up dead. Because since I've been here, a lot of loved ones, family have died due to drug use in that state. Since I have some treatment from the classes and from working around law enforcement at the facility, I realized that I don't want to live that old life anymore. Accountability is big, and I think as long as I keep that in front of me, in this early recovery for me, I think I will could be successful, especially in back giving. And then I want to just give back to the community and help the younger generation so they don't want to go through the same thing that I've been through.
Okay. All right, well, we'll come, is that your statement?
Sir,
Is that what you got to say right now? We'll come back to you and ask more questions in a little bit. Okay, let's hear from who would know you best there in the room that could tell us something about you from the institution from Concordia.
Yes, sir. He's been here for several years. He's actually been a trustee at the police department since April of 22. 22. And he's not had any discipline, any write-ups. He's been a model inmate. He's participated in LA Risk Management Phase 1 and 2, Living in Balance 1 and 2, Cage Your Rage, and Inside Out Dads. He also participates in some of the faith-based dorm activities that they have. So we've not had any problems with Mr. Carter.
Okay, and so y'all had him there since 22?
I believe actually a little before that, a couple months.
22.
22, yes.
All right, okay, thank you for that. Well, let's move on to the people that are going to speak on your behalf. Was it Chief Freeman? Is that who's there?
Sir. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning, Chief. How are you today?
Doing good. How are you all?
Tell us what's on your mind about this fella.
Oh man, he's an outstanding young man. I mean, anything I asked him to do, he's done. I've been knowing him since I made it here in August 12 of 24. And when I mean he's an outstanding young man, I wouldn't trade him for the world. Anything we ask him to do, he get it done. Even things we don't ask him to do, he do it before even being told to. I feel like in my heart that he would be an outstanding citizen back out there in public. I really believe that his rehabilitation that he's been going through here has really changed his life. His faith in God has really stepped up because I'm a firm believer in that. And I mean, he's an awesome young man.
Mm-hmm. All right, Chief. Thank you. Panel, is there any questions you want of the Chief?
No.
Okay, thank you, Chief. We appreciate that. Okay, and we have Monique Bradstreet that wants to speak on, and she's in Zoom. And what is your relationship?
I am the court clerk here at the Faraday Police Department, and I've known LADARRUS since July of 2022. And like the chief said, he's a very outstanding young man. He has no problems with anyone here. He is willing to help in any way he can. And I think he would be good to be back in society.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And just for your records, Mr. Carter, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. We'll switch back to Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter, we also have letters from Lieutenant Johnson, Trent Morgan, Jamar White, Derek Freeman, Kimberly Curry, and Monique Bradstreet. We have letters from them, all from the Faraday Police Department. Of course, we heard from Mr. Freeman and from Vidalia PD, Lieutenant Johnson. So anyway, what do you, okay, I think that's everybody that's going to speak on your behalf and all the letters that we've done. I guess we'll start our questions now. And your case is assigned to me to primarily ask the questions. And one thing I need to get out of the way real quick is, what is your sobriety plan once you get out of jail? Because it's kind of easy to stay off drugs if you're in a controlled environment. When you get on the street, it's going to be a lot different.
yes, sir, it is. And I totally understand that. I do know that for one, I do have to change my people, places, and things. That also includes family and friends. But my main goal is to go to meetings like NAAA meetings, possibly still get a sponsor and stay in contact with people who are in early recovery also.
Okay. All right, because you're going to be out and you're going to be free and you're going to be needing some money.
Yes, sir.
And it's tempting to want to sell an 8 ball or an ounce or whatever. It's tempting to do all that.
Yes,
So
sir.
how you gonna get around? I mean, are you involved in NA or AA meetings or?
Listen, I'm pretty familiar with them. This time I went any length to get, and selling drugs and using them. I just want a positive change for myself this time. Without the use and the selling the drugs. I see what it does to people, see what it, how it does families. But like I said, working for the police department has taught me a lot, and especially being around them. So this time I don't want to break the law any longer. I want to live by the law and that aspect. But if I do get out, I am going to continue to go to meetings and see still outpatient treatment.
Okay, let's see here. You've got some, what are you gonna do about the Mississippi charge? It's still over your head, do you know?
No, sir, I'm not sure just yet. I didn't know they still have the detainer on me. But I'll take care of it the best way.
One step at a time, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I noticed you only took one class in 2024 and no classes in 2025. Is that correct?
No, sir. I was in a class in 2025 inside and out dads, I think. That was 24 also? Okay, yeah, because I think that I basically took all of the classes that they have here.
Oh, okay, so you've taken everything that they offer there.
Yes, sir.
And you're working every day at the
Yes, sir.
police department.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I don't have any other questions.
Yeah, how long have you been incarcerated?
Since September 7th of 2021.
And you were selling drugs and using drugs then?
Yes, sir.
When was the last time you had a hit?
That would have been September the 7th, the day I got arrested, of 21.
And you've not used drugs since then?
Absolutely not.
Great. I heard you say when you get out, you're gonna try to do some things to curb young people from making the same mistake.
Yes, sir. When I graduated high school, I did attend Pearl River Community College. And I wanted to do like general studies. I wanted to coach. I want to give back to the youth. I also attended, which I did drop out due to hardships that I was having. And then I also was taking some online classes, early childhood education. Which I did end up dropping out due to stupidity, ignorance, and just want to, work and still go out and have fun and not thinking about my goal, not pursuing my goals at that time. And they have cost me, but I'm not gonna give up there. Even with me being back in jail, and like I said, jail did save my life. I will be the one to tell you that. And it also helped me to want to just live and to give back. I also, here at the Faraday Police Department, I also help back like the community by helping them with food drives for the elderly people. And so but there's more young people now in this society, because every time I call home, you hear about gunshots, this and that, and the violence, and a lot of it is just due to the lack of accountability for us elderly, especially us men who are here to be leaders in our community and in this world. So that's what I have.
Thank you. I have no more questions.
Okay, just real quick, Mr. Carter. First off, you're a third felony offender and you're a very young man.
Yes, sir.
Your life right now is not headed in the right direction. Do you realize that?
Yes, sir.
My only concern is the drugs. Would you be open to going into a inpatient treatment in DOC and being released after that treatment.
I will have no problem with that, sir.
I just want to make sure, and you're gonna give your best effort if we get you there.
Sir.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? No. I think we'll go ahead and vote and, I'm, I'm supposed to vote first because this is my particular case. Excuse me. And so, I believe that with all of the good reports we have from the police department there, and from after hearing your interview, I think that I'm willing to take a shot as far as my vote goes on paroling you. But I think that Mr. Freeman has a very good idea to go ahead and let you finish a in-house DOC substance abuse program. I think that'd be good for you because of the extent of the problem that you've had in the past. So that'll be my vote.
Okay. My vote is the same, parole conditioned on you completing the Steve Hall or a inpatient DOC facility and follow all of their recommendations upon release. Because we won't see you again.
I concur with Mr. Freeman and Mr. Prater.
Okay, sir, today at 9:11 in the morning, you have earned your parole from us, providing that you do the conditions which are not that ominous. So I think you'll be able to do good, and I think that you'll do fine from here on out. So we wish you luck and let us know if we can help you do something.
Thank you so much. I have a question. Here at this facility, I know they have, you said the Steve Harvey program? Okay,
Look, we're not gonna air this out on the hearing today. We'll reach out to your institution and get you some more information, okay? Thank you.
Good job.
thank you.
All right, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning.
Okay, we are at Baton Rouge, at the headquarters of the DOC. This is the Committee on Parole that you'll be talking to today. We've already had our introductions, but just for the purpose of the record, the time is 9:16 in the morning. Today is the 5th day of June, and we're going to be conducting this parole hearing that we have for you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Meredith. And so we're Rayburn Correctional Center. Warden, what's going on there?
Yes,
Who
sir.
are-
We're doing
who's
pretty
the-
good,
Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself for us, please.
sir. Warden Travis Day.
Carolyn Thomas, records. Tracy Taylor, classifications.
Okay, all right. Well, we're here to talk to Mr. Johnnie Meredith. What's your DLC number, Mr. Meredith?
584458.
Okay, all right. And Mr. Freeman has your case, and he's going to be handling the interview, and then we'll come back after we hear a little bit about what kind of fellow you are and why you feel like you're worthy of getting an early release of parole. So having said that, I think I'll just turn it over to Mr. Freeman right now, and you can hear from the board and everybody else.
Got it. Okay, Mr. Meredith, I'm gonna just enter some preliminary information into the record. You're a second felony offender. Your parole date was 11/21/2023. Your adjusted good time date is 10/23/25, and your full term date is 8/17/48. You're serving a total of 34 years and 1 month and 3 days for illegal carrying a weapon, distribution of meth, simple arson, and simple burglary. Distribution of meth, and simple arson. Does that sound correct to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Meredith, how old are you, sir?
71.
Okay. And how long have you served on this charge?
Well, I don't know.
I got about 8 years. That sound correct?
About what time?
What you said, about 8 years?
Oh, yeah, that's about right.
Okay, 'cause that's what I got. You served 8. Okay, tell me what happened. Why you were doing all these things?
Which one you want me to start on?
Any of them. Just take your best shot. Tell me what got you in there and why you think I ought to let you go today.
Well, my son had a bad addiction on meth. So he didn't have nothing to do with me, but he's always close to me anyway. I didn't sell no meth in there, and I didn't anything else. I just was at the wrong time, the wrong place. And I don't know, I feel like the stuff was sent over by my son to somebody else, and I happened to be the one on the first deal. And I prayed to the Lord and everything to get him off that mess. He won't even budge.
Okay, so tell me this, why you have so many charges for distribution of meth? You saying you never sold meth?
No, I didn't sell that. I did not. I had my hand. For 1 second, I put it in my hand, put it over to his other hand, and he videoed me. I didn't know that.
All right, the sheriff, the DA are opposed, the attorney general is opposed. You have quite a criminal history. I see you've taken tons of good time classes. What class was your best class?
Oh, I know it's gonna be hard with that. I took everything as a saw parish. I took everything they got 2 or 3 times. But these are not. Oh, I helped with that lady was running it. I helped her a lot. You know, for my
Help
she
on what? What class you help her run?
every one of them in the saw, I helped her on every one of them. I ended up taking some of them 3 times, so she gave me the credit for
Okay,
One of them.
We'll get Warden's gonna say something about what you've been doing. Okay,
Taken here.
Yes.
I'm trying to think the name of it.
Have you taken pre-release,
Yes, I took that, sure did, and I had one more to take.
living in balance?
Living in balance,
you taking a bunch. Like I say, you got 700 and something hours worth of credit, so that's a lot of classes. I was just trying to see if any of them stuck out to you. So did you use drugs?
no,
So why did you have these drugs with you? I'm really confused here. We got all these counts of meth, and then you saying you didn't use and you didn't sell.
if I anything, I would have to say I used, I never sold any.
Okay, that's what I was asked, if you used. Okay, did you ever get any treatment for your drug usage?
No other than these classes I took, no.
What you think you could do when you get out to stay off of drugs?
I'm gonna stay away from people.
Okay, stay away from people.
Stay with the people.
Anything else? You could do any AA, NA, stuff like that?
That here, I sure did, I took it to Caldwell, I took it here.
But are you going to continue when you get out?
Right. I will not, I'm gonna call the police if I ever see her here and next, call the police then.
All right. Okay, Warden, Dave, what do you have to say about, Mr. Meredith?
Yeah, Mr. Meredith, he's been in RCC since 2020. I only got one write-up. I read it. It was pretty insignificant. He does not have a job here. He does have a medical condition that we're following up with him here. You know, speaking with Mr. Meredith yesterday and asking him about his plan when he gets out and what his contingency plan is. You know, I do have a little reservation about that. He and I discussed with his good term date being so close and this, that it would be a tough time, and, you know, it might be better for him just to wait and let us try to help him find somewhere to go and help him out and get his feet on the right path prior to this. So we discussed that yesterday.
Appreciate it, Warden Dave. I have no further questions.
He's in agreement with what you talked to him, Warden?
He said, yeah, but I don't know that we all the way connecting.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I got you.
Okay, no question. I think it's time to take a vote. Mr. Freeman?
Okay, my vote today, it's like the warden said, he gets out in 4 months. And I think those 4 months could do him some good with the warden helping him find a job and a place to stay, get him more settled. So my vote today is going to be to deny due to the proximity of good time, date, and law enforcement officer.
I concur with Mr. Freeman.
And I concur with Mr. Freeman. So today at 9:24, your parole has been denied, and you could be getting out a few months anyway. So I wish you luck when you get out. You're gonna need a plan, and I'm sure the warden will help you. And Warden, we appreciate your input today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That'll conclude this hearing, 9:24 at Rayburn Correctional. I believe that's all we got.
Look, I'm gonna try to help you get something. Okay.
Yes.
You
It share. Huh? It says share something.
It's first to me. Cause your name's right here.
Oh, that's a line.
Um,
That's the line I'm in. Oh, so somebody before me.
yeah, there were other institutions.
Okay, Raymond Johnson, Mr. Raymond Johnson. Is that you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. And what is your DOC number, Mr. Johnson?
368-835.
Okay, well, you're speaking from Louisiana State Penitentiary, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And is there any of the staff in the room with you?
Yes, sir.
Would you ask them, or would you identify yourselves, please?
Yes, Taylor Graphia classification.
Okay,
Donnie Bartlon, Assistant Warden.
okay. Thank y'all for hosting us today. I know you're not used to this thing, just kind of hearing, but we appreciate it very much. Okay, Mr. Johnson, do you have a piece of paper in front of you by chance that says that you signed about your
Yes, sir.
revocation hearing? And you got that in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
did you sign that piece of paper?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you understood that, and that talks about your right to have an attorney if you want to get one, but you're not entitled to an appointed lawyer, that sort of thing. So that's what you signed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, your case has been assigned, the interview has been assigned to Mr. Freeman. And so I'm going to turn it over to him. He's going to go over some different things with you and try to get to the bottom of why you're being considered to be revoked. Then we'll ask questions, then we'll take a vote. Pretty simple thing. So, Mr. Freeman?
Okay, Mr. Johnson, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read your conditions to you, and I want you to plead guilty or not guilty, with or without a statement. And, we will go back to each one and go over it after we hear from you speakers and stuff. I'll ask you specific questions. Right now,
Yes, sir.
condition number 3, on or about, and I'm just reading the 3 conditions that they found probable cause on. We're not gonna read the other one. On or about 12/20/2023, you were arrested in Fort Bend County Jail in Richmond, Texas. You were not given permission to leave the state. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty. I mean, guilty, sir.
Okay.
Guilty with a statement.
Yeah, right. When we're gonna let you make your statement, I'm gonna come back to it. I'm just getting you pleased right now.
Yes, sir.
You possessed, condition number 5, you possessed a firearm or dangerous weapon as indicated by your arrest on 1/19/2024 for 2nd-degree murder. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
Okay. And you are $1,449 in arrears with regard to supervision fees. As of 3/27/2025, you have never made a payment. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
Okay. All right, so we got 5 and 10 not guilty. And 3 guilty. All right, first let's hear from, Mr. Michael Banford, Orleans Public Defender's Office. Mr. Banner, tell us what you want us to know and what's your plans for Mr. Johnson?
Can you hear me, board?
Sir.
Good morning. How you all doing?
Good.
Okay. My name is Michael Banford. I'm a client advocate here at Orleans Public Defender's Office. And my plan with Raymond is to work closely with him and have him to come to the office or meet to see him at least once a week. I've worked with him for quite some time since he's been incarcerated, and he does want to do the right things. And being able to work with our office and have that navigating system for him, we have it. We'll be able to bring him to any appointments that he may or may not have and assist him in getting a job. He doesn't have anything that will require treatment, and he does have the ability to do well, and he wants to do well. But I personally will walk this out with him to ensure that he does the right things and abide by the rules and regulations of his parole so that he can succeed at it and he could be the man that he desires to be, as he expressed to me during our times of meeting while he has been incarcerated. And I'm just hoping that the board take that under consideration and knowing that I will work tirelessly and effortlessly to make sure that Raymond succeeds and be the best version of himself that he can be.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Okay, and next we'll hear from Ms. Drew LaFontaine. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Your attorney.
Good morning. It's Drew LaFontaine. How are you?
Good, good.
So I just wanted to offer a brief comment at the beginning, and then if it's okay, I'll reserve my remarks for the end after you question Mr. Johnson. I just wanted to clarify regarding the second-degree murder charge. That charge was not dropped on a technicality. That charge was dismissed because there was no evidence that Raymond had anything to do with it. And that's because Raymond did not commit that crime. They arrested the wrong person for that charge, and that's why they dismissed the charge. And, you know, had those prosecutors had any evidence that Raymond was involved in any way, they would have continued to prosecute him on that charge, but they did dismiss that charge. And so I wanted to clarify that just up front. I know that there are other issues that will be addressed with Mr. Johnson, and I'll reserve my remarks about that for the end, if that's okay.
That's okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Condition number 3, you pled guilty. So you went to Texas. When did you go to Texas? What date did you leave?
I went to, you there?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Well, I went to Texas prior to me being about to be homeless, and my cousin had stocks in his name for me. He notified me. He was like, the only way I can get this money to you is if you come pick it up, or you wait until after the holidays and I'll bring it to you. He didn't want to send a large amount of money through Western Union or do no phone apps or whatever, etc. So I chose to make that silly, conscious decision to go out there and retrieve the money. And I made a honest mistake. I regret to this day. I apologize and just ask for mercy in my apology that it won't happen again.
Okay. Is it just a big coincidence that you were just getting about to be arrested for murder when you went down there? You wasn't running?
I assume so, because as long as I was home, like, I never had no knowledge of what was going on. I walk the streets, I go to the stores, I go in convenience stores or none of that. But prior to that, it was just like all a big misunderstanding of me. I'm still to this day overwhelmed and trying to figure out, like, why didn't they just arrest me while I was in New Orleans?
Okay. How much money did you get?
I had got $3,000.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, and condition number 5, you pled not guilty.
Pete, can I ask a question? 3?
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Johnson, you say you went out there to get the money?
Yes, sir.
How long did you stay there?
I stayed there it was probably the second day. I arrived out there Sunday night. Monday morning, I was trying to get in contact with my cousin, in which he's an electrical engineering for the state of Houston. His name, Wesley Phillips. So he told me when he get off, he'll try to get to me, in which I was staying by my little brother. And that day went by. So the next day he said, I'm trying to just come see you. The part of the city where I was at, he couldn't get to me because he stayed like 30 minutes away from Kirkendall Road or whatever street my brother lived on. So I had to wait for him to bring me the money, but he assured me that it would be before the holidays so I can get back to New Orleans and pay the bills, pay my fines and fees, and be established for the new year coming in. That was my plan. But as I say again, it was a foolish mistake I made to cross the state line. I could have just waited and it wouldn't have been.
So you stayed about a week?
No.
No, I was actually there 2 days. I was arrested. I arrived Sunday and I was arrested Tuesday.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right, condition number 5, you said you pled not guilty to having a firearm. What's your statement on that one?
Yeah. I didn't have when I was arrested, I didn't have nothing but an ID and a pack of cigarettes. I was not in no other violation, sir.
What about your pictures on Facebook and stuff with you holding a gun?
No, that's not me.
That's
not Raymond Johnson.
Okay.
Sorry to interject. That was the alternate suspect in the murder that was submitted. That was, yeah.
Okay, was it you that said that you were hood famous, no doubt? Pound
No, sir. I don't have a Instagram or a Facebook or none of that. That's not me.
Okay.
I don't have a social media platform.
Got you. Okay. All right, let's go to number 10. You didn't pay nothing on your supervision fees. Did you ever work when you were out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you ever attempt to pay anything on these fees?
Yes, sir. In which that was running in concurrent to the money that I was receiving from my cousin. My plans was to pay the $400. The initial $238, I believe, to the parole board to activate the parole fees and fines. But in the process of that, prior to that, starting from the beginning of my release, I was looking for a job. I was working at the city airport, washing the RTA buses, getting paid
Got
cash.
injured, didn't you?
Sir?
Did you get injured while you were working there? You were doing good and you got injured?
Yes. Yes, sir. And I managed to break my wrist. And the guy explained to me that the insurance can't carry me, so just lay low. I acknowledged my parole officer, I acknowledged my parole officer, and he told me not to worry, just relax and stay up and get healthy. Prior to that, I tried to get in contact with him and let him know my every move about my financial situation and housing and everything. And he was agreeable with it until we lost contact.
Okay. All right. I have no further questions.
I have no questions.
No questions.
Panel ready to vote?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no, let's hear the closing from your attorney. I'm sorry, ma'am.
So I just wanted to address a few things. Raymond has been in jail now for 18 months. And he's been suffering consequences mainly for this parole hold, for violating his parole hold by leaving the state. When he left the state, it was out of financial desperation, and he should never have left the state to get that money. He regrets that. He understands now that it's impacting his future freedom. But we would accept any sanctions that the board would find appropriate. If the board would find appropriate putting him on a curfew or putting him on an ankle monitor, Mr. Johnson is willing to submit to any sanctions that this board finds necessary. He had been on parole for 9 months. He was regularly checking in with his PO. He was employed at the RTA washing buses until he broke his wrist, but he was maintaining employment up until then, maintaining a stable address. And going forward, if the board does make the decision to release him back onto supervision, he will have the extra support of Michael Banford from our office, who's a client advocate, who's been working with Mr. Johnson. We'll be checking in with him weekly. We'll be providing him the additional support, the decision-making counseling, in order to make sure that, you know, he never makes a decision like that again, which was to leave the state without getting the permission first. And so, just on behalf of Mr. Johnson, I just want to express his remorse for making that decision to leave the state. And, you know, we're essentially just throwing ourselves at the mercy of the board and asking the board to consider that he has already suffered this consequence of being incarcerated for the last 18 months, and he will accept any sanctions that the board deems appropriate.
Okay, well, let me ask one question. You stated earlier that the DA dropped the case because he didn't have evidence.
Yes.
It wasn't because a witness went out of state and refusing to testify now?
That's what the DA put in his email, but in addition to that, there was no evidence at all connecting Raymond to the murder. This is a case that they would not have been able to prosecute. There was absolutely nothing tying him to it at all.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
I'd like to go into executive session.
Okay, made a motion, I'll second.
Got a motion and a second going to executive session.
Yes.
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 Okay, we're gonna go into executive session for just a moment, probably maybe at the most a minute or two, and we'll be right back and let you know. We'll take our vote down.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Why didn't you put your input in? They didn't ask you to. And he's letting the board do it. Well, don't just talk. They have freak out like you being disrespectful. Dash.
Okay, it's 9:45. We're back from executive session. Let's have a vote to go back into regular session.
I make a vote that we get back into regular session.
Motion in a second, and seeing there's no one opposed to it, we're back in regular session, 9:45 in the morning. Mr. Freeman?
Okay, Mr. Johnson, I find you in violation of condition number 3 and number 10. I find no probable cause on number 5. No evidence to link you to a weapon and stuff. But, you know, absconding, going out of state, very serious. Find you guilty in number 3, number 10, and my vote is to revoke.
Okay.
I concur with Mr. Freeman.
Okay, you got 2 votes, and that's all it takes, but I would concur with them also. So your vote today, as of 9:46, your parole has been revoked, and anyway, we wish you well. That's the end of that particular hearing.
That's it.
Okay. Press OK. Yeah, the participants. My mom, close friend of mine.
Hey, are you, good morning, Mr. Norman. Is that you, Earl Norman? Is that you, Mr. Norman?
Can you
Hello?
hear us?
Can you hear us? Mr. Norman, is that you?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. We're here to talk to you a little bit about a revocation hearing, and you are currently right now at Angola. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Moved there from Orleans Parish, so we're going to be conducting that. Would the staff introduce yourselves that's in Angola in the room with you?
Donnie Bordelon, Assistant Warden.
Taylor Graff, who is classification.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And we're here, Mr. Norman, to talk about your revocation. What is your DOC number?
My DOC number is 545403.
Okay. And what do you have a piece of paper in front of you that you signed a waiver by chance?
That I signed a waiver. I have this piece of paper in front of me about the parole revocation questionnaire.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And you signed that, and you understood what was on there and all of that business, correct?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Well, we got some folks that are going to speak on your behalf that want to talk to you, and then I'm going to talk to you also. But you're accused of violating really rule number 4, which is to avoid guns, or avoid criminals, and avoid criminal activity, and that sort of thing. That's what we're going to be talking to you about in just a little bit. But we'll save that questioning until we talk to these folks that are for you, your brother, your mother, and your sister. And I think they all 3 want to talk on Zoom. So we'll go ahead and start with Steve Martin, who is your brother. Mr. Martin, are you on Zoom with us?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. And if you would, just limit your remarks to just a brief period of time, because we have a lot of folks to talk and a lot of business to conduct. So if you would, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem. My name is Stephen Martin. I currently reside in New Orleans, Louisiana. Earl is my god brother. I've been knowing him his whole life. I'm 43. He's a little younger than me. And watched him transition through so much in his life, and watch him fight and struggle to get on the right path and be in the right position to be in a position to be a good dad to his kids. What I am asking, of course, today, if it seems feasible to you all, to grant him access back to his kids, back to us, to a stable environment. We and myself, I am a serial entrepreneur. I have several businesses right now myself, including construction, car lots, along with a clothing store and other business ventures that I'm doing. My goal is to have Earl to engulf him and put him in a different arena around things that will pique his interest, and maybe he will take heed to, and gravitate toward these things to put him in a path for success. That's my goal, is to just continue to encourage him and put him in a position for success, and to try to eliminate all the outside noise, all the distractions, if that's a word I can use. And then that's just simply it. I just want to see him make it. I want to see him be a good dad to his kids. He's a good father, and they need him. They need him out here. Every family needs a dad. All these children, all these kids are lacking father figures, and he's a great father figure. And I just feel like that he needs the opportunity to prove himself on that level, to not just to our family, but to the courts as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. Appreciate that input. Miss Veronica Wilson, who is the mom, would you tell us what you've got to say, please, ma'am?
No.
She's not on?
No.
Who's next?
Okay. Miss O'Neill.
Good morning.
Miss O'Neill. Okay. Would you tell us your relationship and what you've got to say about Mr. Norman?
I am the younger sister of my siblings. And I can honestly say that Earl Norman has done, he has changed. Let's put it that way. He has changed. Before his incarceration that he's on now, we opened 2 businesses. We opened a nail salon, which I do nails. He opened a construction business. We were getting children to work with their hands and stuff like that, teaching them and all that kind of stuff. Now on his charges, now I was a part of that case, and there was no evidence on that case at all. Like, they didn't even put our charges in the right way. The guy who made these allegations against us, Mr. Earl and myself, he was nowhere to be found. And he was the one that started the altercation. So, like, I just hope that, you know, you all can grant him to get back to his business, because I have the LACs, the business license. Like, he has changed from his last incarceration. I can definitely say that. He's a different person, and he's a great father. My children call him Uncle Daddy. Like, he's not the same person he used to be.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that input. And Miss O'Neill, before I get rid of you, Miss O'Neill, are you still on?
Yes, I'm here.
Were you actually arrested with him
Yes, I was.
in this case?
Yes.
What have you done with the charges against you?
My charges, because I was driving the car that he was in. My charges got dropped to criminal mischief.
Okay.
Because there was no probable cause.
You were driving the car that they were shooting out of, correct?
No,
No?
he wasn't in the car that they were shooting out of. He was in my trunk, because the guy that was on the so-called victim, he said that before Earl got involved, he called some people with guns. So I put Earl in my trunk, because when he called me, he was just hysterical, saying that they're looking for him and all that kind of stuff. And last I remember, from before leaving that scene, the guy had called people with guns, and they were out there. So all the other stuff that was going on in the case, I'm not sure about, but from what I know, he was with me. And even my statement that I gave to the detectives on the case that testified can testify to what I just said.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make it clear that you were a co-defendant on the case. And okay, thank you. We appreciate your input.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll hear from the mom now. Yes, ma'am. Would you talk to us, please, ma'am?
Morning, how you all doing? I'm the mother for Earl Norman. I pray that my son has changed. He has been incarcerated. He has started his own business. During the time of his incarceration 2 years ago, I was on the phone with my son. We were talking because it was a car accident, and we were speaking on that. During that time, guys had walked up to him with a weapon. And I told him, baby, please leave the scene. He left the scene. These guys followed him. And going forward, my son has started his own construction company. We come from a family of construction. He was out there helping those. He had many opportunities to go into their world. If you can see what I see in my son, I would already asked my father, my heavenly father, to grant him and have favor on him. Now I'm coming to the board because you all hold it. And I ask that you all have favor and grant him. I was diagnosed with cancer mid-January. In the little time that I do have left, I would love for my son to be here. He have missed 5 or 6 different family members that has passed. My dad, who helped raise him, he wasn't there. He wasn't there for his brother. So I just pray that you all have favor and grant him the time to come home to be with us. He have a family. He have children. You have my granddaughter, she just started college.
Okay.
Allows him to get back to his business.
We appreciate that input, and we pray that your health will be cured and you'll be fine, okay? And we appreciate you. Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Norman, let's talk to you again. I believe we've handled all the preliminaries. Okay, Mr. Norman, your case has been assigned to me in this particular, and I'm kind of curious about some things. According to the police report, the way I read it, you were in the car and they were shooting out of the car, but you weren't doing the shooting. They were shooting out of the car, and the lady we talked to, Miss O'Neill, was driving. Excuse me, you were driving, and they were shooting out of the car. Did that happen?
All right, so it could be clear, sir, to the board. First, I want to bring something to the board's attention. I've been incarcerated for 2 years on these charges.
Okay.
I was offered 5 years credit for time served. The repercussions of going to trial, if I would have lost, I would have done a life sentence due to my previous convictions because the DA filed the enhancement bill. I went to trial, sir. To clarify what's going on with the case that you got in front of you, it did start out with a car accident. My baby mama was driving my car. She got in a car accident. I was called. When I got to the scene, the family of the other car, they felt as though it was my baby mama's fault. So I came into a hostile environment. So when I get there and I got out and I get out of the car and I'm checking on her, me and the guy look at each other and we pass words. He brandished a weapon. I'm on the phone with my mama. I'm not looking for any pity. When I'm like, you gonna shoot me? By me being on the phone with my mother, I get off the phone because I don't want her going through that again. You know, she lost her son already. So I get off the phone with her and I leave the scene. When I leave the scene, my sister talked down the situation. She talked to the guy, she talked to the people. I come back because I'm waiting for the police to get to the scene because it's my vehicle involved. When I get back, my baby mama family get there. A fight break out. I leave the scene, shots fired. I call my sister, I hop in the trunk. I was not driving a vehicle of the SUV that they say that shots was fired, the shots was shot out of. During the course of trial, you know, we listen to ballistic tests. I don't even know if shots was fired out of the SUV, to be honest with you. But I'm not really, I don't want to waste y'all time trying to get into the political part of it. My standpoint is nobody can really understand. I was in the trunk of the car, not evading police. The car didn't have any tint on it. I'm trying to stay out of trouble. I want the board to know when I come home, New Orleans was a different place. I'm trying to stay out of trouble. Everything was new to me. I can't fantasize the things I saw. My second day home, I saw a man get killed in front of me. I done went to gas station and saw people hop out and go in the store with assault rifles. Everything is different. My thing was staying out of trouble. Like my family said, it's easy to do the wrong thing. Yeah, I was tempted, to get back in the street life. I've been doing that my whole life. I gave my whole life to the system. When I came home, I started washing cars. I opened up a nail shop. I opened up my own business. I did things the right way, the hard way. Doing these 2 years in jail, like I brought to the board attention, I went to trial facing a life sentence. And I know that a part of rehabilitation is admitting to your wrong, admit to your faults. I know that's something the board wants to hear. But I can't come here and tell the board that I'm guilty because I'm not. But with that said, I did need this time. I needed this time in jail because it showed me something different. The generation that's coming up now, the youngsters, it showed me that I needed to embrace this feeling to where when I'm out there, I don't get sidetracked. I remember everything that I went through. Like I said, it's so easy for me to do the wrong thing. It's easy to do the wrong thing. I'm in that Angola now because I was on a dome where the mass escape happened at. One of the escapees was my cellie. I'm just trying to do the right thing. I'm just trying to get back out there to my family and put the pieces back to my life together. I'm not perfect. I'm not coming here to tell the board I'm perfect, you know, but
okay.
I'm a work in progress, man. And every day I wake up, I pray for patience and discipline. And you know, I'm still just working on myself, man. That's what I gotta say towards the board.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Just so that you understand, it's rule number 4 is what you're being charged with. And you were found guilty by a jury of simple assault and flight.
Simple assault and simple flight, yes.
Yes. And so that means you ran from the police, correct?
Simple assault is
no.
That doesn't mean I ran. I'm going to say I was found guilty. Yes, sir. I was in the trunk of a car. I never was given a command to stop. I never was I was in the trunk of a car. Yes.
Okay.
That's what I did, sir. I was in the trunk of a car.
You were hiding in the trunk. Okay, I don't have any other questions, I don't think.
I have. How long have you been in jail?
2 years, sir.
Okay. And did you originally run to the back to another street and then you got in the car?
No, sir. All right. The way Franklin and Leon C. Simon is, I think that's Franklin and the way Franklin and Leon C. Simon is, when I went down the street after the fight broke out, I called my sister after I heard the shots and I got her to pick me up on Franklin and hop in the car. We went down Leon C. Simon and they had a perimeter set up already. She was trying to go in the perimeter, but they had it blocked off. So she turned on the street, came back out because the house was right there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Jones?
How long have you been on parole?
I took my time in 2017.
And 17, and you got in trouble, or you out on parole a couple of years and then you got in trouble again?
Yes, sir. I got on parole and I had a great relationship with my parole officer. What's so ironic is I just met with my parole officer the morning I come to jail. He met me at the shop. I was cutting grass. I was building on the deck. I was building the deck in the back of the shop for a hookah lounge. A lot of females were speaking on hookahs. I guess it's a new thing. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. I don't drink. But, it was that weekend that was coming up. I wanted to start a car wash in the parking lot, start getting my business up and running. But I said all that to say, man, my parole officer, he retired now. I wish he was here to speak for me. We had a good relationship. And
you abided by everything he asked you to do? So you had
yes, sir.
You didn't have any problem about it?
No, sir. No, sir. Great communication. If in fact, I think it was 1 or 2 times he came to the house. Matter of fact, the day that he met me was one time he came to the house and I wasn't there. I think he came probably around 7-ish. I used to wake up every morning and take the kids to school. Whether it be nieces, nephews, kids, and after that I go to the shop and he just meet me at the shop. But it was always great communication.
Okay. All right, we got a motion to go into executive session in a second. All in favor?
All right.
Freeman.
Yes.
Parole.
Yes.
Tillis.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna be in executive session for just a moment, then we'll come right back out and we'll take a vote, see what we're gonna do.
So it's just reading a report and, saying that how to drive. So they reading a report and, now they hearing a different story. It's like, sometimes the boy, like I said, the boy just wanna, do wanna do it on. That's why I want to tell them, give them life sentence. You know what I'm saying? I want to try. Should have given credit time, so.
That's the good part about it, even at trial, they didn't give credit for time served, so.
We're back on.
Was in the room.
Okay, could we have a motion to
So
go back
moved.
in
Second.
regular session? Got a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're back into regular session. It's 10:15 in the morning. Same date as when we just left a few moments ago. Mr. Norman, I think we're ready to vote now, and I'm the first one to get to vote because I was the primary, and then the others vote behind me, and we make the decision. And so my vote is that we revoke your parole because of violation rule number 4. Jury found you guilty. The reports are pretty clear. Jury found you guilty of simple assault and a flight charge, rule number 4. So that's my, Mr. Tiller.
I concur with Mr. Mr. Prater.
Yeah, I also finally violated condition number 4, I concur.
Okay, as of today at 10:15, your parole has been violated, sir. I think that's all we have in Angola. Okay, good morning, Madison Correctional. Are you there? You're on, okay. Would you, I think you're on mute right now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, all right, we're ready to go from Madison Parish.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. David Augusta, is that your name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and your DLC number is what?
562791.
Okay, and could I ask anybody from Madison Parish, are you in the room with you?
Yes, sir. Captain Alfreda Jones. I'm
Okay.
over security. I'm in security.
Okay, Captain, thank you for hosting us. We appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Augusta, we're here to because you had asked us for another chance at getting paroled out. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, we don't have anybody to speak on your behalf or speaking against you as far as in person or on Zoom. So we'll go ahead and I want to hear, first off, I want to hear why you feel like that you're worthy of getting this early release. Then I want to hear from anybody there at Madison, the facility that might know you, and then we're going to turn it over to Mr. Tillis to ask some questions. So first off, tell us what you did, why you're there, and why you need to get out.
Gave my life to God, and I do a lot of Bible studies, and I like working out a lot. And I think, like I said, I'm not really a troublemaker. I'm just at the wrong place at the wrong time. But I feel that, by me being here, I got closer to God, and He's changed my life tremendously. And I have a lot of faith in Him as well as my family. A lot of my family has passed on since I've been incarcerated, and I'm still trying to have a speedy recovery, but it's not, coming in as I like, but I'm being patient and putting all my trust in Him, God above, and He's the only one that can work it out for me. I believe that no man has the power to release me, only Him. And I feel that He has me here for a reason, to better shape and mold me as I should have been when I was free out there. And I'm reluctant, to have this done to me because, it really has made me a better person, because I feel, I can do much better. And I've learned since I've been in, I learned to know myself by acknowledging Him first and foremost, that He's the only one that can make a better person out of anybody. And I feel that He's done a wonderful job for me.
Okay.
And only through Him, That's the only way it's possible. Because
Okay.
he's taught me to be a better person.
All right. Okay, let's hear from the captain there. What kind of fellow is this fellow been at, while he's been in?
Oh, I'm not a captain, I'm a lieutenant. My name Lieutenant Robert Thornton.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I mean, he's a good person, and what I'm saying is, I didn't even realize, I just got through talking to him, before y'all came on, and I said, what don't mean, where you came from? And he said, I've been in, J Dorm for all this time. And I didn't even know he was in there. That's how quiet he was, because I didn't even know he was in the dorm. But I don't have no problem out of him and stuff. I mean, he down to earth. I mean, I ain't have to give him no write up. He ain't never been in lockdown. And then most of it, he just staying out the way. And that's what I like about a person. When they stay out our way and stuff like that, don't give us problem. That's good. That's a good thing on their behalf.
Has he had any programs while he's there?
Well, that's the thing about it. We used to have a program, but it faded away for some reason. I mean, we had about 3 different programs, but they just fade away for some oddball.
So you don't offer any programs there?
No. That's the only thing about a lot of the guys. They want to get in programs and stuff to help them, to pass time and stuff like that. But this place, it just don't have it. And if they can go to a place like Hunt's or somewhere, David Wade, where they got programs at, that'll be better for a person that, they can come up on things and learn about things, he stay out of trouble and stuff. And when they do like they in trouble and stuff, and then they got programs that teach you about right and wrong stuff,
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Lieutenant. We appreciate that. Okay,
All right.
Mr. Augusta, you never told us why you're there. Before I turn it over to Mr. Tillis, you need to tell us, why are you in jail? Why you been in prison?
I was convicted of a crime of indecent behavior, juvenile.
How old was the juvenile?
At the time, 7.
7 years old. And you were convicted of indecent behavior with that juvenile, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You did. What are you supposed to have done with a juvenile?
Well, sir, really not really want to talk about that. I know it's your plan. I mean, y'all protocol, but I feel that I've done with court, and I don't want to further incriminate myself. If I had, the liberty, I would like to have a lawyer present with me, but I just don't have that resource at the time, and so.
Okay. Mr. Tillis, I'm gonna turn it over to you for some questioning.
Well, how long have you been incarcerated?
The time now, sir, 17 years.
17 years. Have you
Yes,
tried to get any classes or anything?
Yes, I tried, sir, but at the time that they shipped me here in 2017, and like the lieutenant just said just a few minutes ago, they don't have any programs over here, and I would like to be in some programs, like you said, to pass my time, to make me more a better person. But like I said as before, I found the Bible in my life, and I never was the one really to put the Bible in my life when I was out there in that world, because I was moving a shaker and going to a job every day, providing for my family, and that's how it was. But since I've been here, I mean, I put the Bible in my life, and God I think he's done a wonderful change in my life. And like I said, I've had a lot of family members that passed on, And, it's hard dealing with that while being incarcerated, but God has gave me the mental capability to handle situations like that. It's made me more stronger.
Okay, I heard you say that earlier, and I heard you say, and you kind of talked just about yourself. What about the victim? Uh, that was your daughter or what?
Ours was my stepdaughter, sir.
Your stepdaughter. You were responsible for taking care of them?
Yes, sir. I was providing for them, and pretty much did a good job. And like I said, I mean, other people, when me and my fiance at the time, they was in our business a lot. Her family on her side, and things just got out of hand, and here I am. And
17 years. So
yes,
you're
sir.
saying you're innocent or what?
Well, yeah, pretty much that's what I'm saying. But I mean, that's not the real case right now because everything is done and over with. And like I said, I mean, things happen for a reason. Like I said, I was a move and shake out there in the world, and I really didn't really have time for God. Not to say that I was an atheist or anything, but I was feeling that I can do things on my own. But since I've been here and I've really found God in my life, and like I said, I think he did a wonderful change to me. And like I said, I've lost family members, and most people, they would, like you say, flash out in quotes, but I choose not to do that because I let God handle things now as to where I was handling things myself.
Okay, thank you so much. I have no more questions.
Well, I have one question. You ever took sex
Yes,
offender
sir.
treatment?
Sir?
Have you ever taken sex offender treatment?
No, sir. I would like to. Like I say, they don't have any programs over here. And
It's hard to consider you without that class. So we need to get you somewhere you can take that class. But yeah,
Yes,
thank
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, I'm ready to vote.
Okay, let's vote.
My vote is going to be to deny because of law enforcement, and I think you were at a facility that you could have taken some sexual classes and stuff, but you didn't, and it seems like you're just all about yourself and not thinking about a 7-year-old child. So my vote is going to be to deny.
Mr. Jones? Excuse me, Mr. Freeman.
My vote is the same, but it's because I think you need sex offender treatment, and I am going to request we move him to a institution where he can get that sex offender treatment, and then you can reapply. Well, I'm still not gonna vote for him unless he has sex.
Okay, we got 2 votes that your parole be denied, and my vote is that you be denied for the same reasons. I think you need some sex treatment to start with, and you need to realize you need some victim awareness training to realize that there was a victim in this, and you need to realize just exactly what you did, and I don't think you have. I appreciate the fact you got a better relationship with God, and I congratulate you with that. But I think you got some more work to do. So your parole's been denied at 10:38 in the morning.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Jones,
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Okay, we are here in Baton Rouge and we are talking to Rapides Parish Detention Center. Is that correct? Is that correct? Is this Rapides Parish?
You're on mute.
Y'all on mute.
Hello?
I'm here.
Okay, I thank you for you being there. We talked to the jail. If you'll just stand by for just a minute, please, ma'am. Rapides Parish, can you hear me?
Yes. I understand
Can you hear me, Rapides?
that.
You're on mute, I believe.
All right, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Well, thank you for hosting us there at Rapides Parish Detention Center. Would the staff introduce themselves that are in the room?
Sergeant Marsh and Sergeant Steimel.
Okay, all right. And are you Mr. Todd Campbell?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Campbell, what is your DOC number?
503439.
Okay, all right. And you are in jail now on a rape charge. Been in jail for quite some time. You have asked us to consider releasing you early. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I want you to tell me, this is the way this will go. I want you to tell me why you feel like you ought to be released early, why you're there. Tell us about the crime a little bit. We don't need a lot of specific, just about that. And then tell us what you've done since you've been incarcerated and why you'd be a better person when you get out. Then I want to hear from the facility there at Rapides Parish, if anybody there has anything to say about your conduct. Nobody's going to be speaking on your behalf, but we have two people that want to speak on Zoom in opposition to this. So let's begin by you telling us why you're there and what have you done since you've been there and why should you get out? Why should we even consider letting you out?
I feel as if I became a better person. I'm older. I have participated in 3 classes and completed them. Don't have any disciplinary write-ups in quite a while, some years. You know, I just feel like my life is better now. I have better habits. I can make better decisions now that I'm older.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's good. Is anybody there at Rapides that will tell us anything about him, his behavior or attitude or anything?
Yes, sir. Mr. Campbell has requested to be placed on trustee. As of right now, he is not on there due to limited space, but he has not received any disciplinary infractions since he's been here, and his name, I haven't even heard his name come up.
in the last year. So if I haven't heard of him, that's usually a good thing. Okay. All right. Mr. Campbell, what classes have you taken? You say you've taken 3 classes since you've been locked up?
Yes, sir. I just completed the risk management program, the 100 hours of the pre-release program, and the Celebrate Recovery, the Celebrate Recovery 12-step program.
Okay. And what years were those? What years did you take those programs?
The risk management and the pre-release were just this year.
Okay.
And the Celebrate Recovery was in 2015.
Okay, so what have you taken any other classes other than the ones you took really this year?
Just those 2 this year and the Celebrate Recovery in 2015. I wasn't eligible for the take classes before that. I don't know if y'all aware, but the laws were changed so DOC picks when we're able to take class. And I just came under 2 years in February. So I've been in classes since 2 classes since February.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's hear from Christiana Miller. Is Christiana?
Good login.
Okay, Miss Miller, can you hear us? Miss Miller, can you hear us?
You on mute?
Miss Miller?
She's on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Can you hear us okay?
This is Lakeisha.
Okay.
Shannon Bird.
Okay. I'm speaking, is this Lakeisha that I'm speaking to on the telephone? Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, you are the victim's sister, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm Christina's younger sister.
Okay. All right. Would you tell us what you have to say about Mr. Todd Campbell's parole request? Ms. Miller?
Yes, sir.
Would you tell us what your statement is about his request to be let out?
Okay. I think it was that I feel that Todd Campbell should not be.
Okay, you're against him getting out.
Oh, this is I'm so.
Okay.
That Todd Campbell should not be set free. I feel this way because he changed my sister Christina Miller physically and emotionally, and also traumatized by the event that took place. Meaning that he choked her to the point where she could. And she could barely talk to tell exactly what had took place with her. He also told her that if she ever tell anybody what he did to her, anything, he would kill her. He raped her so bad that it was blood behind on the bed. A person that can do horrible things like this should not be set free. As I mentioned before, he told my sister that if she ever told anyone and he went to jail, he would kill her when he got out, when he get out. My sister is dead for her life. Also, the year before that, he choked my brother, Tommy Miller.
Okay.
It's not that I'm being negative about the situation. I do forgive him from the bottom of my heart, I do, but he changed my sister's life. She had more than one surgery. It's hard for the help cleaner, like, to any passengers or anything on her. She had surgery on thigh because her bone was broke. So she got screws and a plate in. She had hit on her head. This was left behind that he did have behind, and the thing that he did not do to her, he failed his program test by lying.
Okay.
And before all that, I told my mom he looked strange that he didn't need to be there, and she allowed him to be over there anyway. But my mom told me to get out her house, and I was 8 months pregnant at the time that of the incident. He took me home and told me that he was going home and lied about it, and went all the way back 15 miles to Delhi, Louisiana, and took me back to Tallulah before the incident occurred, way before that, because I was talking to Mama. He didn't know I was talking to Mama. Then he was looking strange. And he had 4 logos. He went to the store about 211 because he took Christina with him. I didn't want to go. All the time I went with him is when I went home because my mama told me to leave her house because I was constantly worrying her about he didn't need to be at the house with them.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate that. I'm sorry you having to relive this parts of it. Miss Christiana Miller.
Yes.
You're on mute, please. Miss Miller? Miss Miller, you're on mute, I think.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, we can hear you now. Would you tell us what you have to say, please?
Yes, I feel like you never know what a person mindset is at or on. They can always come back and do it again to the same person or somebody close to them. They could try with somebody else family members. And I still be having bad backlash and nightmare and hear voice in my sleep. I do not eat. I better eat. I be hearing noise, waking up out of my sleep, shaking in my sleep, screaming, hollering, kicking in my sleep, and I'm terrified of him, and I feel like, and I know for sure he will try to do it again if he get out early and someone good behavior, or he will try to do it to somebody else because he did to a 5-year-old child. And yes, I am afraid of him. He do have 10 people live down the road for me. I like to know what can I do to protect myself, or keep myself protected. Do I have to be a trainer all the way, or protected all the way? Because I don't want to be nowhere close to him. I don't want him nowhere close to me.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate that. Appreciate you telling us what your thoughts were about this. Thank you very much, Mr. Miller.
Because I do be up all the time, so the day, the night, I'm gonna cut you off. I'm sorry. And I do try to keep myself busy and occupied. That's keep my mind off that whole situation.
Okay.
And I be, half the time, most of the time, I do be snapping out on people since that had happened to me in 2009.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
And I still have.
Okay, Miss Miller. Thank you. Was she through? Okay, Mr. Campbell, we'll come back to you now. And the case has been assigned to me, so I wanted to ask a couple of questions. How old was the victim at the time?
I think she's 2 years younger than me. I think.
Which is how old?
She should have been about 25. I was was 20, no, she could have been 24 because I was like 26.
Okay. All right. And you were found guilty of this, correct? Or you pled guilty, right? You pled guilty. You were charged with ag rape and you pled guilty to force, correct?
I pled guilty.
Okay. And the judge and the DA and the sheriff and the attorney general and the family, her family are all opposed. That's about all the questions I got.
I am.
No question.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. It's our turn to, we vote now. We've asked all the questions. And so mine's the first vote and I'm going to deny this. I think you need to go ahead and finish up the rest of your sentence there. You'll be out 27 anyway. And so I think because of the seriousness of the crime, the victim opposition, and because of law enforcement opposition that is probably denied.
My vote is also, I concur with Mr. Prater. I think you also need to get some sexual abuse classes before you leave. He does.
Okay, and I concur.
Okay, that'll be the end of this here at 10:58. That's the end of our business. We'll be signing off from Baton Rouge at 10:59.